गंदा है कि देख कर डर लग रहा है।
3 cities, 1 crisis. Poisoned water. After Indore, now Gandhinagar and Bengaluru.
The Kaveri water which was given to us is this, and this is the clear water. You can see the clear difference.
Contaminated water across Indian cities. Civic failure and compromised lives. Clean water and air. India's fight for basics. Top focus on 5 Live.
Hi there, I'm Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor. This is 5 Live. On the program today, we've been covering air pollution for a while now. We've been bringing you the reality of the air we breathe. But come 2026, looks like we've got more battles to fight, really. What about clean water to drink? Pani, Hawa, Dawa. Because remember those spurious cough syrups that we spoke about? Well, that's the reality of modern day India, and that's the fight for basics that you and I have to do in the 4th largest sort of economy in the world, the largest democracy in the world as well. We'll cover all that on the program. Our top story at 5 Live now, clean drinking water and clean air. They're not just luxuries, remember. They are the most basic rights promised to every citizen. Yet today, across Indian cities, both are increasingly unsafe. Delhi and other parts of India have been suffering from choking pollution levels for months now. And it's not just air. Urban India is fighting 2 silent emergencies at once: poisoned taps and polluted skies. As Indore, India's so-called cleanest city, deals with the public health crisis of contaminated water, 2 other cities now, Gandhinagar and Bengaluru, have now reported sewage contamination in drinking water. These are not isolated incidents, remember. They point to a deeper systemic failure, aging pipelines, delayed civic action, and warnings that come only after people fall sick or worse, lose their life. And while water turns toxic, the air Indians breathe is no safer either, right? When children land in hospital beds because of drinking water, when families fall ill simply by breathing in the air around them, the issue is no longer infrastructure. It's about governance, it's about accountability, and it is about the constitutional right to life. A nation aspiring to be a global power must first guarantee its citizens something as fundamental as safe water to drink and clean air to breathe. But that's clearly not happening in some of India's biggest cities. Take a look at this ground report that we bring you now from Indore, where due to the contamination, at least 10 people have died. Over 140 remain hospitalized.
पानी इतना गंदा है कि देखकर ही डर लग रहा है।
The truth behind Indore's Swachh city tag is out. Bhagirath is no longer an isolated case. Several localities are now grappling with contaminated drinking water, forcing residents to consume unsafe water straight from their taps. Areas like Gulzar Colony and Piplia Rao are witnessing a crisis identical to Bhagirath. Water supplied from the Narmada river, meant for drinking, is coming out muddy, black and foul-smelling.
तो ये बाल्टी हमने मंगाई है और ये बाल्टी देखिए साफ सुथरी सफेद रंग की बाल्टी है। इसमें अगर आप साफ पानी डालेंगे तो आपको ट्रांसपेरेंट कलर पानी का दिखेगा। अब हम नर्मदा का पानी इसमें डालते हैं और उससे समझेंगे कि कैसा पानी है, कैसा कलर है इस पानी का जो इस वक्त इसमें डाला जा रहा है। अब ये नर्मदा का पानी इस बाल्टी के अंदर डाला जा रहा है और धीरे धीरे जो पानी है वो इसमें भरता जा रहा है। आप देख सकते हैं कैसे जो ये पानी है इसके कलर में परिवर्तन होता जा रहा है। हल्का पीलापन आपको यहाँ पर नजर आएगा और इस पीलापन की वजह से लोग काफी परेशान हैं। कितना दूषित ये पानी हो जाता है?
ये पानी ज़्यादातर 6 महीने 8 महीने से ऐसा ही आ रहा है और अभी बीच में तो हमने बंद कर दिया था ये पानी यूज़ करना। हम बोरिंग से यूज़ कर रहे थे पानी। जब भी हम बोरिंग चलाते हो बोरिंग में भी ऐसा ही पानी आता है चैम्बर सीवेज लाइन के कारण, और अभी भी आप देखेंगे तो ये पानी में झाग आएंगे।
Even water supplied through tankers isn't safe.
ये पानी बाहर से तो साफ होने का दावा किया जा रहा है, लेकिन अंदर ये कैसा पानी है वो देखना बेहद जरूरी है। देखिए इसका जो ढक्कन है वो भी पूरी तरह से जंग लैस है, हर जगह सिर्फ और सिर्फ जंग है। अंदर का पानी आप देखिए, ये है अंदर का पानी जो लोगों को पीने के लिए अब सप्लाई किया जा रहा है, और कितना गंदा पानी फिर से लोगों को यहाँ पर दिया जा रहा है। क्या ये पानी कैलाश विजयवर्गीय या यहाँ के महापौर या काउंसलर क्या वो पिएंगे? क्या मुख्यमंत्री इस पानी को पिएंगे?
The consequences are visible. 142 people are hospitalized, including 11 in ICUs, due to diarrhea outbreak linked to contaminated water. In Bhagirath alone, over 9,400 people have been screened, with 20 new cases detected and 6 deaths officially reported so far. The drinking water from taps tested for total dissolved solids or TDS, revealing dangerously high contamination levels. While 150 to 300 is the acceptable limit, the results for tap water were well beyond that.
यानी अब इस मीटर को इसके अंदर डाला जाएगा और पता करते हैं कि इस पानी का टीडीएस मीटर पे कितना आता है। 510 इस पानी के अंदर जैसे मैंने इस मीटर को डाला है तो इसका पॉइंट आ रहा है। और अब टीडीएस मीटर को उस पानी के अंदर डालते हैं जो पानी हमने पैक्ड ड्रिंकिंग वाटर से निकाला। इस ग्लास के अंदर वो पानी है और इसके अंदर जब हम डालेंगे तो आप टीडीएस मीटर देखिए कितना आ रहा है, 24। कहाँ 500 के ऊपर और कहाँ 24। और ये स्थिति कहीं ना कहीं दर्शाती है कि कितना गंदा और कितना भयानक और डरावना पानी है ये। इस पानी के पास बैठने में भी बदबू आ रही है, लोग तो इसको पीने के लिए इस्तेमाल करते हैं। तो प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री को ये समझने की जरूरत है कि अगर आपको प्यास लगे और आपको पानी पीना है तो आप ये पानी पीजिए, ये पानी कतई पीने लायक नहीं है।
Water contamination is not a problem limited to Indore. According to a central government report from 2016 to 17, foul fecal contamination was detected in 58 areas across the country, with 36.7% of water samples deemed unfit for drinking. Only 5 districts reported 100% safe water, while in many others, less than 40% of homes had access to potable water. Alarmingly, 5 districts reported zero potable water, underscoring the urgent need for action to ensure safe drinking water for all. If India's cleanest city is forced to drink contaminated water, it raises serious questions about governance and accountability. The question remains, who will be held accountable for this man-made tragedy? With Piyush Mishra in Indore, Bureau Report, India Today.
Man-made tragedy indeed over there. The city of Indore looks sparkling on the outside, has a tag for being the most Swachh in the country. But look what's in its dark underbelly. Poisonous water that is now taking away lives. And perhaps the politicians there, those in authority, not bothered at all. In fact, getting mad and getting furious at media for asking all those questions. But that's not all. Our reporters on the ground have been doing some spectacular work. Piyush Mishra, whose report you just saw, sent us another one, this time from a colony called Gandhinagar, where he found that there was a drinking water pipeline running in the middle of an open drain, right in the middle of the street. When he spoke with people, they said they have repeatedly been telling the administration there that do something about it, but they never responded.
Here you can see as to how people are forced to use this water as for the purpose of drinking, for the purpose of cleaning, for bathing, for cooking food, for everything. And this is the harsh reality of Indore city of Madhya Pradesh. Remember that in Bhagirath, more than 10 people have already lost their lives because of drinking the contaminated water. And here we are now seeing how the water is completely contaminated because this water is coming beneath the sewage line, and the water connection has been laid right under the sewage line. This is the sewage line where you can see as to how at one side you have this sewage connection, on the other side you have this drinking water connection which has been given here by the authorities. So this shows as to how people are forced to live in such pathetic situation. We have this connection which is coming right under the sewage line, and this water is used for drinking purpose. People have requested to authorities multiple times to check this, to maintain this, to ensure that there are two different lines of sewage line and drinking water line, but the authorities have not listened to their grievances.
It's just there for everybody to see. Piyush Mishra joins us live now for more on this. Piyush, we saw the entire report. We also saw that Sonia Gandhinagar area as well, where you saw that the sewage line was actually right next to the water pipeline. That's where the mixing is actually taking place. And a lot of problems actually come there. But what are the locals saying? I'm sure this isn't an overnight problem. They must have seen it coming. They must have gone to the local administrator, in this case the municipality, to report, to say that this is not right. What happened then?
Well, Sonal, the locals have approached local authorities multiple times, but authorities did not act. We spoke to the locals there. They are telling us they approached to the local authorities, and every time they got an assurance that yes, we will come tomorrow, but that tomorrow has never come. You would remember, Sonal, that we also questioned Kailash Vijayvargiya, and we asked what he had to do, what he had to say about the people who have lost their lives, about the pathetic situation in Bhagirath, Pura and various parts of Indore. Even he replied to us, "Main kal bataunga." So this kal and this tomorrow is not coming in Indore, and people are facing problem day by day. We have spoken to people and they are saying that many people are falling ill every day in their residences just because they are consuming contaminated water. And this is not the story of only Bhagirath Pura. This is the story of Sonia Gandhinagar, of Gulzar Colony. This is the story of Pipliya Pura. And people are telling us that they have been requesting authorities to take actions. And the requests are being made for the last many years. But mayor's change situation does not. BJP has been ruling Nagar Nigam, as well as BJP has its MLA here. But despite for the last more than 20 years BJP ruling both the governments, no actions have been taken, and people are really frustrated. We have also
Piyush,
gone
where
to
is
the
the
houses
commissioner?
of people. They are telling us that
The commissioner
the
of
Narmada
Indore,
water
who
which-
has been on so many campaigns, who's been the poster boy of how he can really clean the city. Was it just an eyewash? The city's been cleaned on the surface of it, while the dark underbelly has water that causes death?
Well, it was complete eyewash. The kind of claims which the commissioner make and the kind of awards which he wins every time that Indore is the safest clean city, that has been exposed, and that has been exposed by our repeated coverage. We have shown how people are facing a lot of problem. The contaminated water is coming in almost every household. What commissioner says that I have not got any complaints. What local Parshad tells us that Adhikari do not work, officials do not work. Officials say we do not get instructions. And then, the local MLA is also frustrated that the officials are not listening to him. So there is a blame game which is continuing. But at the end of the day, it's the people of Indore who are at the receiving end. Sonal.
Well, we'll leave it there for the moment. Spectacular reporting there, Piyush, and keep at it. Keep sending us more reports and more ground reality so we can sort of reflect it here as well. But if you thought that this water crisis was limited to one city and it was just the city of Indore, just one colony there, think again. because a sharp rise in typhoid cases has set alarm bells ringing in Gandhinagar as well. Over 100 suspected cases have been reported in just 5 days, with most patients undergoing treatment at the civil hospitals. Authorities are now investigating if contaminated drinking water was actually to be blamed, and it looks like it was. Officials say that the surge has been especially steep over the last 3 days, with nearly 50% jump in positive cases, and also children forming the majority of those cases. Take a look at this report coming in from Gujarat.
An alarming spike in typhoid cases has shaken Gujarat capital Gandhinagar. In just 2 days, over 100 children have been hospitalized, all suffering from waterborne infection. The cause? Contaminated drinking water supplied to several areas of the city. India Today reached the affected areas and found that a leaking sewage line running dangerously close to a drinking water pipeline.
तस्वीरों में भी आप देखिए, बीते 2 दिनों पहले ही गांधीनगर म्यूनिसिपल कॉरपोरेशन ने गटर लाइन और जो पीने की लाइन थी, जो कि आजू बाजू में से पसार हो रही थी, उसमें रिपेयरिंग का कामकाज किया है, लेकिन यहाँ पे गंदा पानी भरा रहता था। वाल आप देख पा रहे हैं, इसे फिलहाल यहाँ पे रिपेयर किया गया है, बदला है।
Despite multiple complaints of contaminated water over a week, the Gandhinagar Municipal Corporation did not take the necessary steps in time. As people consumed the water, infections spread rapidly, causing fever, body aches and breathing difficulties, especially amongst children.
पानी से सब पीते हैं ना, तो बड़े लोग को भी बीमारी हो जाती है, छोटे बच्चे लोग को ज़्यादा होती है। मेरे घर में मेरी लड़की बीमार है, स्कूल से आई वैसा ही गिर गई, 5 दिन हो गया, उसको बुखार आ रहा है, दवाई लाया पर कुछ असर नहीं हो रहा है उसको।
ये पानी 5-6 दिन से आ रहा है, तो अभी गंदा पानी आ रहा है, पीने में बहुत दिक्कत हो रही है। तो हमारे को गोली दिया था, तो कल से तो गोली डाल रहे हैं पीने के पानी में, तो आज तो बहुत ज़्यादा गंदा आया है। बदबू गटर जैसी आ रही हो, गटर कोई मिलावट है, गटर का पानी का ऐसा मिलावट आ रहा है।
अभी पीने का पानी आप किस प्रकार से इस्तेमाल कर रही हैं? क्या यही पानी को पी रहे हैं आप?
नहीं तो नहीं वो नहीं, वाटर बैग आता है, इनसे भरते पानी।
तो अभी वाटर बॉटल मंगवाना शुरू किया है आपने?
हाँ, वो बोतल, क्योंकि बीमारी की वजह से, बीमार ना पड़े इसलिए।
Medical costs have pushed families surviving on daily wages to the brink. Residents have been left with no choice but to buy bottled water. Doctors at the Gandhinagar Civil Hospital, where children suffering from typhoid occupy most wards, have warned that more cases are likely in the next 2 weeks.
टाइफाइड फीवर में इंक्यूबेशन पीरियड 15 डेज़ का होता है, इसलिए इसमें और 15 दिन तक ऐसे डेली अराउंड 10 पेशेंट्स आते रहेंगे। और बाकी हमारे 3 वार्ड है, E2, F2 और 604 वार्ड, और सब में पेशेंट के भी ट्रीटमेंट अच्छी चल रही है। राउंड द क्लॉक 25 पीडियाट्रिशियंस और डॉक्टर्स डेप्यूटेड है।
Union Home Minister Amit Shah has stepped in, directing the local authorities to take quick action. Water samples have been collected, pipelines repaired, and awareness drives launched. But with action coming 10 days too late, several families are left to deal with medical emergencies. The damage is already done. With Atul Tiwari in Gandhinagar, Bureau Report, India Today.
Pritesh Joshi, my colleague, now joins us for more on this story. Pritesh, take us back to, is this problem localized, or is this as widespread as we are seeing in Indore, where it started with one colony, but now there are more and more patients and some, similar issues emerging in other colonies and areas as well?
This is the problem occurs in the 3 different parts of the Gandhinagar city, Sector 24, Sector 28 and the Adiwada area of Gandhinagar city. Earlier this was reported by the as per the local people, they have informed the local corporators 15 days back that they are getting the water which is not drinkable, it is a polluted water, and that's why they have informed the local corporators, but somehow the communication was not done or the actions were not taken by the Gandhinagar Municipal Corporation at that time, and once there was a surge in the cases of the typhoid cases, the corporation and all the people have from the authorities, all the authorities have been rushed to the spot, and they have tried to cover up the area which were affected by these polluted water. There were more than 20 leakages in the pipeline of these areas, due to which this contaminated water was flown to the different houses. Almost 30,000 households has been surveyed by the authorities after the more than 100 typhoid cases has been reported in the just span of 3 days. And that's why, as per the current official records, 90 people have been discharged and 113 people are still under the treatment in the civil hospital of Gandhinagar. So more than 200 cases were reported as per the latest figure. Though the authorities have claimed that they have taken the control of the situation, and now the people are not getting the polluted water or the contaminated water, but still the cases may surge, and there has been and as per now, there was some suspected death of a girl child of 7 years. Though reports are awaited whether it was due to this typhoid or the other reason. We have to wait for the confirmed report, but one suspect death
Pritesh,
as well.
update us as in when you get that report.
due to
Important to
this
see what's
whole
happening
incident.
over there in Gandhinagar as well. Thanks so much for joining us with the very latest. But it's not just Indore, Madhya Pradesh. It is not just Gandhinagar in Gujarat. It is Bengaluru in Karnataka. Now, on the list as well, sewage contamination in drinking water has hit a key area of the Karnataka capital, forcing at least 30 to 40 households to rely on private water sources for over a week. Several families have now reported frequent illnesses, with some requiring hospitalization as well. They say that they were more aware, they took action faster, but despite that, these waterborne infections have already taken over. Here's a report.
Indore, Gandhinagar, and now Bengaluru too. The crisis of contaminated drinking water is widespread across India. Sewage contamination has been reported in Bengaluru's Lingarajapuram, triggering serious health concerns among residents.
The clear supply was of this color.
For more than a week, at least 30 to 40 households have been forced to depend entirely on private water sources. Several families have reported frequent illnesses over the past few months, including some requiring hospitalization for waterborne infections.
How many of them fell ill because of this, sir? And what kind of medication they were given? What doctors advised you?
See, a few residents, like there's one elderly person there, she fell sick, this another person fell sick here, but not in my family, there was so far, because we started acting after the whistleblower from Dr. Newman.
Pipe water is there, it is rusted and it is very bad. For the sake of the health, we have to change the entire pipe.
So there were quite a few people who were taken ill. Okay, one of them was hospitalized, and one of our neighbor here, she underwent, she had serious bout of diarrhea as well. So now people are sort of recovering from that.
As complaints mounted, the Bengaluru Water Supply and Sewerage Board stepped in, saying it has stopped water supply to the affected area to prevent further health risks. An intensive investigation is now underway. Using robotic technology, along with ground staff, the board is tracing the exact source of contamination. Meanwhile, free potable water is being supplied through Sanchari Kaveri tankers to affected residents. But the opposition has targeted the Congress government in Karnataka for not prioritizing the basic rights of the people.
You ask the Sidramaya. He's telling now 2,000. We are giving 2,000 rupees. You take food, drinking water, milk, sarai, whatever you want, you take. We are not worried about the water, road, anything. This is the Sidramaya stand. This is Sidramaya. This is Congress party. Shame to Congress party.
Thank you, sir.
With contaminated water now reported in at least 3 major cities, the focus is on shrinking civic accountability, as residents wait for what should be basic and safe, clean drinking water. With Bureau Report, India Today.
More updates coming in, this time again of contaminated water leading to illnesses, this time in the state of Odisha, where there has been a jaundice alert that has been sounded in the school, where 150 to 200 students have fallen ill near Bhubaneswar. Contaminated water has taken its toll again, it seems. Water contamination near the capital Bhubaneswar this time. And this has to be the fourth state now where contaminated water reports are coming in that has led to illnesses, severe illnesses and deaths as well. It was Indore, then it was Gandhinagar, Bengaluru and now Odisha to that list. Odisha is more shocking than anything else because this is a state which prided itself in having tap water which was drinkable. But what happened there? What's gone wrong? That's a story we'll be chasing right here on India Today. All right, cutting across to some breaking news coming in from the United States, where an intruder alert has been sounded at Usha Vance's and JD Vance's home. Shots allegedly fired as well at the US Vice President's Ohio home. Secret Service has nabbed the suspect running from the scene, an intruder in Secret Service's custody as we speak. But this is a major lapse, as at the Vice President's house, an intruder, shots were fired, an intruder was spotted. He's now in custody. Let me cut across to my colleague Pranay to bringing us more updates on this. Pranay, what exactly happened?
Sonal, what we are learning that the private house of Vice President JD Vance and Usha Vance, the second lady of the United States, their private house has, Secret Service has found that some of the windows of that house has been smashed. They saw a person running eastbound, and then he was, he was arrested. The matter is still under investigation, but this is a serious breach of security in the security detail of Vice President JD Vance, because he was there, just hours ago. In the private house in Ohio. This incident happened in Cincinnati, the East Walnut Hills house of Vice President JD Vance. And, now Secret Service and the local police authorities are investigating the case, that how did that individual reach up to the, the proximity of that house, and how if he fired at it, because it was allegedly, he fired at that the residence of JD Vance and Usha Vance. And now he's under custody. The person is being investigated. However, the details about the individual has not been shared as yet, that who this individual is and how did he approach, how did he reach in that close proximity to the private residence of Vice President JD Vance.
Okay, but Pranay, you're saying at the time of the incident, the Vice President and the Second Lady were not there, but they were in the same house just hours earlier.
Absolutely, Sonal, and that's why it's considered as a more serious breach in the security of Vice President JD Vance. They have, they have left that house. It's a private residence of Vice President JD Vance. You know that he has served as an Ohio governor, and Cincinnati's, East Walnut Hills house is their private residence. Vice President JD Vance, his wife Usha Vance, and kids were there, and they have left that place in some hours ago. And after that, this incident, in any case, the private residence of the constitutional post holders are also a secured premises because it's their private property, and Secret Service guards there. In fact, the Secret Service only informed the local police authorities that they have, they have apprehended a person, and that person is being investigated now. As I said, that the identity of that individual has not been shared as yet.
Right. So we can confirm to our viewers, Pranay, that this happened at the private residence of the Vice President. He was not in the house. His family was not in the house as well. They have escaped. No harm to life or no injuries or nothing happened. There's only been damage to the property.
Absolutely, Sonal. There's only a damage, and Secret Service noticed that some of the window pans were smashed. They were, there were some gunfire, allegedly some gunfire, what were heard, and thereafter they identified a person running eastbound, and then he was apprehended.
Yeah, you can see the bullet marks in those pictures over there. Yeah.
Absolutely. So this is a serious breach that, in the security and the close perimeter of that house, because that property is guarded by the Secret Service. And this incident happened at around 12:15 a.m. So, past midnight, this incident happened. Some individual reached up to that house. What exactly is the motive and how did that person reach in the close proximity of that house? That is still under investigation. And the local police authorities in Cincinnati, they are also investigating, and Secret Service is also involved in it. A detailed statement from the Secret Service is also expected, today.
All right, so no harm there to the Vice President or his family, but they were in that same house moments before this happened. You can clearly see gunshots in that window pane, which is now being looked into by the police. The person who did it, the suspect, is now under custody. We'll know more as the day progresses. A very, very serious breach there at the house of the Vice President of the United States. Thanks, Pranay, for bringing us all those details. It's Delhi, it's a national capital region. That means air pollution is clearly a problem all year round. And this time it sparked a high drama inside the Delhi Assembly. It was the first day of the Delhi Assembly winter session. Aam Aadmi Party MLAs stormed into the House. We'll show you those visuals there, wearing gas masks, sort of saying that Delhi's air has become unbreathable and that public health is under grave threat. The protest was aimed at highlighting the impact of the hazardous air. But the protest quickly escalated into confrontation. Assembly Speaker Vijender Gupta ordered the marshalling out of those 4 Aam Aadmi Party MLAs who were creating ruckus, calling for demonstration and violation of House decorum. Aam Aadmi Party leaders accused the current administration of failing to act on any sort of decisive matter, including key pollution sources as well. Those visuals on your screen. Aam Aadmi Party then demanded urgent corrective measures. A response came from Rekha government, but it was instantaneous. The Environment Minister there, Majinder Sirsa, dismissed the protest, saying that Delhi's toxic air is a 40-year-old problem and that a corrective failure of both the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party government. Then the Lieutenant Governor joined in. He echoed Rekha government's views, calling pollution a legacy issue inherited over decades. He said that air pollution is a legacy issue. But here's the twist. Just months ago, the same Lieutenant Governor wrote a 15-page letter to the former Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, fiercely attacking him for the ongoing air crisis, blaming the previous AAP government for 11 years of neglect and criminal inaction. LG said that Kejriwal trivialized the issue of pollution and left Delhi with an air emergency. He said Kejriwal treated pollution as a fleeting issue. The toxic air and garbage were hallmarks of Aam Aadmi Party government. A constitutional post like LG, you will all remember how he used to not send back the papers that were sent in from the Kejriwal government, not sign them, constant confrontations. But here, the minute the BJP is in power, everything is hunky-dory. Delhi is choking and blame game inside the corridors of power, even with a constitutional body like LG clearly not ending. Take a look at what he said.
वायु प्रदूषण आज हमारे शहर के सामने सबसे गंभीर चुनौतियों में से एक है। पूर्व वर्षों की तरह केवल मौसमी उपायों तक सीमित रहने के बजाय सरकार ने जून 2025 में ही एक व्यापक वर्ष भर लागू होने वाली और समयबद्ध वायु प्रदूषण नवीनीकरण योजना प्रारंभ की है। वायु गुणवत्ता की निगरानी को सुदृढ़ करने हेतु 6 नए एयर क्वालिटी मॉनिटरिंग स्टेशन स्थापित किए जा रहे हैं। इससे रियल टाइम डेटा की उपलब्धता, पारदर्शिता और जवाबदेही सुनिश्चित होगी।
What a twist, what a googly indeed, a complete U-turn, a massive double speak from the part of the LG, who's behaving as if all is hunky-dory now when the air is said to be much worse, if not the same as it's been for the past several years. But what exactly is happening here? How badly have we politicized the issue that even the LG has got his hands dirty into all of this? And that's what we are questioning today. Let me bring in our guest now. I'm joined by Dr. Anil Gupta, spokesperson of Delhi BJP, and also Anmol Pawar, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party as well. Dr. Gupta, thank you so much for being with us. I have to start by asking you, bhai, what is the arrangement with the LG? How come the LG, in just months of time, earlier, he used to question the government in power. Now he's questioning the opposition. So it clearly looks like the issue was personal. It was only against Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party.
Yeah, good evening to you and all the viewers. See, Rekha Gupta government has done a lot of things to control air pollution in last months. And as a customary, in every session, LG has to address the assembly. The LG has to mention about the past work done by the government as well as the future plan. I have heard the Honorable LG speech, and he was right in mentioning that whatever the Rekha Gupta government has done for elimination of the source and for dust mitigation is an achievable thing. Also, what the government will do in future, that has also been narrated. When you talked about the previous year's statement, we still remember how abusive language Kejriwal Saab used to have with LGs. I mean, the cooperation, the conflict which then Chief Minister Kejriwal normally have with the LG. It was LG, we still remember when Honorable LG used to formed a committee and started cleaning Yamuna. Then Delhi government went to Supreme Court and stopped LG from doing work. LG was right on that.
But
Supreme
we
Court
also remember,
committee.
since Dr. Anil Gupta, since you're pointing out, we also remember that LG made a snide remark and said those from IIT Delhi come across as unpad. We also remember when he refused to sign the files. We also remember when he constantly scolded Arvind Kejriwal. We also remember when a lot of times they could not work together and LG did not make it easy for Aam Aadmi Party as well. So clearly, it looks like he was on an agenda, right?
Yeah,
because now suddenly, are you telling me AQI has become better in Delhi?
Let me reply now. I know as a renowned journalist, you have to be unbiased. Listen to me. I have been following the LG for last several years. We still remember there is a committee, consists of LG, CM and the Secretary Home. Kejriwal never visited that committee, never had any decision. We still remember the smoke tower, the source of a smoke study, wherein the several strictures were found. Still, Gopal and Kejriwal was sitting on that. We still remember not even a single point, not even a single work was done by the Kejriwal for elimination of source. And I can tell you tens of the points wherein the Rekha Gupta has done for elimination of source. We still remember every year the Delhi government got the red letter day of the tag history where AQI crosses 999. This year is still better, not good, I'm saying. But still, if you compare the AQI data with the previous year, it's still 50 to 60 points better. That should be.
How can you as a qualified doctor
this
say
is
that?
a fact.
I'm
This is a
amazed.
fact. You need to check.
I'm amazed how you're saying it. The
I'm
number
saying-
of people
I'm
who've
saying
landed,
that.
are you
And
not
if I'm
talking
wrong,
to the
you can
doctors
question
in
me.
Delhi? Are you
If
not
I'm wrong,
listening
you
to
can
them?
question me. Please
हमारी
check the
बात
data.
मत सुनिए, अरे
Please check
doctors
the
की तो
facts.
सुन लीजिए. Doctors are telling us that this year more patients have landed up.
Listen to me.
Doctors
Listen
are
to me
saying
also.
that.
I'm
We are
telling
not
you
saying
the
it. How
facts.
can you say this year it's less?
I never say it is good. I never say. I said still the air is in severe condition. I still say it. But if you compare with the last 11 years of the Kejriwal government and 10 months of the Rekha government, if you compare the figures of the AQI, you know it is still better as compared to what. Not even a single point is being done by the Kejriwal.
Who has said it
11
is
years.
better? This is BJP giving itself a report card. Who has said it is better?
No.
Has
Don't
CAQM
put
said?
your words in my mouth. Don't put your words.
No, who has said?
I'm not saying
Who
it is
has
good.
said it is better?
I'm saying
Which
it
unbiased
is
body
still
has
better.
said that Delhi air this time is better?
Better than the previous year. You can check the data.
Who is
Compare
saying?
the data of the last year. Compare the data, I'm saying compare the CPCB data of last 11 years with this year. You will come to know this year we have better good days. We have 50 to 60 points better. But it is still severe. I'm saying that. Last year,
We
Delhi
had
got the
zero
tax of
good days in 2025. Zero good days in 2025. Not to say that 24 was any better. But the fact is, this is for the first time, Dr. Gupta, we've had to question the authenticity of numbers. We never had to question AQI numbers. This time we had to question it. And that is the problem. But I've heard you. Let me bring in Anmol Pawar as well.
I'm able
Anmol
to answer
Pawar,
each and every point.
I'll come back to you, sir. I'll come back to you, sir. Please be a little patient. Let me give Anmol Pawar also a chance. Anmol Pawar, see, the point is very simple. This does prove what Delhi citizens, voted on. Delhi citizens felt, and it was reflected in the result of Delhi, elections as well, that Arvind Kejriwal was making bahanas. He doesn't know how to take all the parties together. Look, it's been proven right. You don't know how to work with the LG, the BJP knows. The BJP's got it. LG is so miffed with Arvind Kejriwal that even while you are in opposition, he's still sending you letters. So there has to be some problem. ताली तो दो हाथ से ही बजती है ना. आम आदमी पार्टी ने भी कुछ तो किया ही होगा.
Sonal ji, clean air and healthy environment, it is a fundamental right enshrined under Article 21, and failure to ensure it amounts to failure of governance. And today, when the national capital is choking, people are gasping for breath, this BJP's five-engine government is behaving as if it's just another seasonal inconvenience, not a public health emergency. And they are blaming Arvind Kejriwal despite the fact that he's not in power. He worked during his time.
So what did you do, Mr. Pawar? Even you guys did not bring a solution, no? What did you do? So easy to point fingers, no?
Sonal ji, when nearly the entire North India is suffocating, when the North India is reeling under severe pollution, when the top 3 countries, top 3 states in the whole world are from India, when 39 out of the 50 most polluted cities are from India, then it is not fair to just blame Aam Aadmi Party. What about Rajasthan? What about Madhya Pradesh? What about Uttar Pradesh?
What about Punjab?
Noida?
You're not mentioning Punjab. What
Yes,
about Punjab?
In Punjab,
if they are
when we
fudging
came-
numbers of
Yes.
AQI, you are also telling the farmers what time the satellite will cross and they are burning later, no?
Not
We've
at
got
all,
that
not
expose
at all.
going as well.
In 2022, when we came in power in Punjab, there were 75,000 incidents of stubble burning. And this year, CAQ and the central body, the BJP-ruled body, has certified that the incidents have reduced by more than 90%. The member of the Rajya Sabha itself, the Environment Minister, Mr. Kirti Vardhan Singh, in August 2025, stated on record that the stubble burning incidents reduced by more than 90%.
Only
And in
because the
affidavit-
satellite
and in
timing
the-
has been leaked to the farmers and you're tricking the numbers. How BJP is tricking the numbers of AQI meters in Delhi, you are tricking the numbers in Punjab. There is no
BJP
difference
government,
between the
10
parties, and
seconds.
that's the hard reality. And that's why citizens like us are facing
BJP
problems. That is
10
why
seconds.
people are in hospitals right now. And that is why people are leaving Delhi.
The BJP government itself filed an affidavit on record before the Honorable Supreme Court, stated that stubble burning incidents amounts to only 1% of the problem of pollution in Delhi. 99% is itself from the dust and from the vehicular pollution. And it was the Lieutenant Governor itself who said that if there's intent, if there's plan, then the government itself can reduce more than 80% of
I
the
think this
pollution.
is the perfect
In their
story
own
where people
manifesto-
realize how
in their
it is
own
better to be in
manifesto, they
opposition in
promised to
Delhi.
eliminate pollution
Because
within
that's
a
the
year.
only time at least where you can raise the questions, no? When BJP was in opposition, they raised questions. When Aam Aadmi Party is in opposition, they are raising questions. At the end of the day, where is the solution? No party, no government has been able to bring it forward. Nobody has come forward with a winter plan. Nobody is telling us what's the plan to clean air. And that's the disappointing, hard reality. All parties acting exactly in the same manner. I have to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us with that. I don't even know, what the end of all of this is going to be. But let's switch tracks from that and track another big story that has been going out. This is the India-Bangladesh cricket ties are going the Pakistan way this time. Bangladesh has now ordered a complete blackout of the Indian Premier League. In a notification issued by the Bangladesh Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, all TV channels and broadcasters have been directed to immediately stop telecasting IPL matches. Nikhil Naz is with us to give us a sense really of whether or not any of this is of any use. Nikhil, it's like going back, and this is like deja vu. It was initially, our chat when we talked about India versus Pakistan and now the same thing with Bangladesh. Clearly, nobody is listening to what you've got to say, what we've got to put out. But how do we make sense of what's happening right now?
Well, Sonal, I mean, what you're now getting to hear from the Bangladesh side is quite a reaction to what India had done to begin with. Mustafizur Rahman was part of the auction. Now, based on the advisory that you've got from the BCCI, the IPL team has had to let go of him. And then this is retaliatory action that we're seeing from Bangladesh Cricket Board. Of course, they have been there pushed by their government to take this step. What this does at the moment, I completely understand. I mean, there is a part of me that understands why did the BCCI decide not to have a Mustafizur Rahman aren't being, part of this Indian Premier League. Why? Because you've got attacks against minority, and in an environment like that, even if there is a percentage of population that's not happy with seeing a Bangladeshi player play, mind you, a domestic league. And I think that's the distinction that we need to make when we are talking about the Pakistan issue and the Bangladesh issue. In a domestic league, which is essentially made for Indian fans, as well as these are Indian teams, made basically for Indian domestic players with a few added on stars. In an environment like this, if Indian fans don't want to see a Bangladeshi player getting 9+ crore and them celebrating his wickets that he may get while playing the IPL, I understand that sentiment. And to that end, I agree that probably this step was needed. But I think the repercussions of that is something that really you need to ponder over, whether it is the BCCI or whether it is the Indian government going forward, when you're going to really take a call on how you're going to look after your geopolitics. Because from here on, now you have a situation where Bangladesh doesn't want to come and play international cricket on Indian soil. We already have a situation where Pakistan doesn't want to do that. Now you'll have to make an exception for Bangladesh also and have a hybrid model. What does that do to India's chances of having international tournaments on Indian soil? I think that is something that you have to consider. So you need to have a clear-cut policy.
And the cup is still not with us, no, Nikhil?
Sorry?
The cup is still not with us?
That's
the cup that we let go?
That's exactly my point.
So where is this going to end? There is no end to this.
Well, that is my point.
Cricket and politics is blurring in ways that it should not.
Well, that's exactly my point, that, where we are going with this, that is going to be a bit troublesome. And today's newspaper I picked up, the biggest headline there on the front page is a quote by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, where he says that the government is trying its best to get the 2036 Olympic Games to India. You're going to be hosting the Commonwealth Games as well. And I think that's the problem. See, in cricketing universe, it's a small universe. You can get away by having this hybrid model. Maybe Pakistan doesn't want to come here, that's fine. Bangladesh doesn't want to come here, that's fine. What happens when you have the Commonwealth Games? Can you afford not to have two countries come and participate, no matter how big they are or how much they contribute to the medal tally? What happens going forward when you have the Olympic Games? Because ICC may be run by a very small group. The International Olympic Committee, or whether it's the Commonwealth Federation, they're run by a large community. They're run by a board that does not then make any exceptions. I think those are going to be troublesome areas. So I think you need to have a clear-cut policy. Either you allow and take decisions based on the geopolitics, and then you be okay sitting out of these international events as well. I think that's one way to go about it.
I want to see where this goes. But, at the end of this bulletin, what I'm thinking, that cricket is now politics, our air is now politics, our water is now politics, everything is frickin' politics, and nowhere do we find answers to it. And I'm more worried about when actually that Olympics happen, what air will all these players be breathing, and will they even come in? That's the big question, and that's the big story we'll be tracking. But for now, Nikhil, and always, thank you so much for joining in. That's all we could wrap in this edition of 5 Live. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.